Hello, hello, hello. Hope this finds you having a fantastic day. Thank you for joining me. David Fisher here, also known as D Fish. And today we are diving into just one more tool that you can use to help become a sales Sherpa for your prospects, for your clients, for the people in your network, for the people that you are trying to serve. We've got a new setup here today. If you've joined us for more than one, I've got a couple different offices now that I'm working out of. This is a co-working space I'm getting a chance to use a few times a week. So of course, I think it's hilarious in some ways that I'm going to be talking about how to show up on video in a completely new environment. So we had to do a little shuffling around in the room before we get started, but really excited to share this with you today. As always, let me know where you're at today so I don't feel like I am just speaking into a camera and microphone in a completely empty room, which I am with nobody else there. But go ahead and throw down in the comments below if you are live with us. Where are you from? What city, state, zip code, area, part of the country, part of the world? Where are you right now? And of course, thank you to everybody who's watching these on our recordings. For those of you who are new today, you can go and look at all of our videos, not only from this series on the Sales Sherpa tools for financial service professionals, but all of our content. We have a ton of great video series, both pre-recorded and the recordings of the live streams we've been doing for the last 6 months. Check those out on our YouTube channel. I'm going to put the link, go ahead, I'll throw that down below. You can always go there to find all of our recordings. Now, let's dive into the topic, because every day when we come at you right around noon Central, we have less than 15 minutes. My goal is to have these done in 14 minutes. So let's dive in. And today I want to talk about something that is so important in this day and age of self-isolation, social distancing, pandemics, and that is using video calling to its best effect. And I'm not going to necessarily be talking about how to do video for social or other platforms or doing recordings for YouTube. There's some different things that happen when you're doing a pre-recorded video. That's a whole different ballgame. Similar, but not the same as when you're doing just simple one-to-one, maybe 1 to 2, maybe there's, I said 2 or 3 people on the call, but very small group conversations through a video platform like Zoom, which is quickly becoming the verb that describes video calling. But it could be Google Hangouts, it could be BlueJean. There's a number of different platforms out there. And what I've really noticed over the last 6 months is that as people have had to really adopt video calls en masse, there's been some speed bumps as far as how to use it effectively, etiquette, some simple things that you can do to make your conversations better. And I think this is unfortunately concurrent with the fact that for many of us, we have been either self-isolating or, in places maybe we're working from home a lot more. There's a lot more stress. I said, I've never had to work out of my home office before, but there's just a lot of people in a very cramped space. So because of that, I think we've almost gotten a little more tired. Right. At the same time where we've got this new technology, this new way of communicating, we also have less mental bandwidth to really leverage these tools effectively. So kind of today, I'm going to give you some great tips, but I also want just to maybe shine a light on this and bring some attention to the fact that even if you're feeling a little tired, a little worn down, and you just want to show up to that Zoom meeting, some of you might be having 3, 4, 5, 6, 8+ Zoom meetings a day, that even though you are going to these meetings, maybe in a place where you're a little drained, you still have to show up for every meeting. And that's actually my first tip. Think about the effort you would put in if you were going to meet somebody, a prospect, a client, even just a networking partner or a center of influence, somebody who would refer business to you. If you're going to go meet them for a cup of coffee for lunch. They're coming to your office. You're going to theirs. You'd shower. You'd get dressed. You'd look nice. You put on some nice clothes. You'd go there. You'd put in some effort. And it's so easy for us to just click the button to connect with somebody through Zoom that we often, we don't have that ritual almost of getting ready. So the first thing to remember is that even though we don't have to go through all of that ritual, we don't have to go through that process to get ready. We still have to get ourselves in the right frame of mind. And that alone will change the tenor of your conversation. So that's the first. And that leads into something that's also really important to understand is there's something in psychology called the fundamental attribution error. There you go, fundamental attribution error. And what that is, sounds fancy, but it's really simple. When we think about our motivations, where we're at mentally, we understand this really rich, nuanced picture of our lives, and that helps us understand our motivations a lot easier. We go, oh, I didn't, mean to be short-tempered with somebody in this conversation, but it's really because I'm stressed about these other things, and so that makes sense. Where what happens is we don't give that same benefit instinctually to the people we run into, the people outside of us. So again, we know our deep, rich, nuanced motivation for everything we do. We don't inherently do that for other people. And why I bring this up is because for us, it's very natural to go into a Zoom meeting and go, hey, I'm just tired. I've got 2 kids homeschooling in the other room. I've got a spouse who's working from home in the other room. Hey, I just had this meeting, so I'm going to throw on a sweatshirt, baseball cap, and but that's why. It's not that I don't value this conversation I'm going to have. It's not that I don't value the person that is on the other side of this video call. It's not that I don't treat what I do professionally, but man, I'm just not there right now. That might be what you think, but that's not what we see, right? Because the person on the other end of that call, again, they're doing the same thing. They get their side of the coin, but they just see somebody who didn't really show up for them, right? So we have to understand that there's actually some psychology to this. You can't just show up, again, I'm just using this example of a sweatshirt and baseball cap and just jump into the meeting and have your conversational partner just get it right away, okay? So that's the second thing is we have to understand this fundamental attribution error or bias that people have. Now, what do we do because of that? There's a couple things. They're simple, but they're often things that we don't think about. And when you can put a little attention on this for yourself, you have a big impact on the people that you're having conversations with. Again, whether those are existing clients you already have, new prospecting prospects, potential clients, whether it's somebody who is a partner or a colleague, somebody you're doing business with, somebody that might refer business to you. So there's some very simple things to do. And I'm gonna give you basically 4 or 5 rapid fire things here. If you have any specific questions on these, feel free to shoot me a message afterwards. Just reach out to me directly here on LinkedIn. Happy to talk to you there. If it's by recording, you can definitely just throw a comment down below and that'll ring the notification bell. But here's a couple things to think of. Number 1, think of your background. And I said it's a little weird here because I'm in a completely new space, but think about where you do take meetings at home. Here's the thing, nobody's gonna consciously judge you for like a messy background or some chaos. Again, we get it. We're all in this weird place right now. But even beyond this time, when we look at somebody's background, we look at the context that they're in. So when at all possible, try to even just push aside some of the mess, push it out of frame. One of the things that video creators, YouTube vloggers, for example, always kind of reference is that they might have one nice corner that they do all the recording, but all the mess is over there. In fact, if you see a lot of the recordings that I make for my home studio right now is also our 15-month-old's nursery. So I have the crib's there in the background, so you can definitely see the crib, but all of the chaos, and trust me, there's a lot, is just pushed out of frame, right? So, because I want to make that background, that context very clean for people. The second thing, we talk about context. Man, I feel like the old fuddy-duddy for saying this, but take some care with how you dress. I mean, we've had this trend over time, and definitely it's been accelerated because of the pandemic, that it's like, hey, we're in this really casual environment. It's okay to be casual. I guess I'm going to be the lame guy who goes, no, it's not always. With your friends, no problem. But if I don't know you or don't know you well, I am not going to consciously go, oh, they're wearing a t-shirt, or oh, they're dressed like this. But my brain, why when you go out into the real world, you go to a conference, you go to a networking meeting, you go to a client meeting, you don't just show up in a ripped up Metallica t-shirt, jeans, and flip-flops, because you know that you will be judged on how you look. That's just how humans are wired. We'd like to think it's all just our content, but it's not. It's how it's packaged. So it might be time to up the game a little bit. Might be time to just throw on a collared shirt. Again, don't have to throw on pants they can't see, right? If you don't, I think that the humor of, someone wearing yoga pants and a nice blouse for a meeting, for example, totally fine. You can't see. I am wearing pants, by the way, but you can't see. But again, think about the top. Same thing. Like, I've seen this a lot from even executives, like the baseball cap look. I'm a little biased here because I wear baseball caps, but not for a professional meeting. I was raised, and again, this is just a very idiosyncratic bias. I was raised, you take your baseball cap off when you even go in a building, right? And again, that's just, I said, my perspective, but other people share that, not everyone. And you don't know how somebody's going to judge you and view you based on that, on what you're wearing. So just pay a little more attention. The next idea I'm going to have for you is make sure your lighting is good. You can make sure you have either a window that's facing you, or I will actually, if you need the link to this, message me. You can go on Amazon and get a $40 very nice light ring that will make you look so much better than if you're just in this dark, overshadowed room. All right. So invest, I said it's like $40. And we're going to be on these video calls for a while, and even beyond the pandemic. I think this is going to be a part of our business life. And the other thing I'm going to suggest spending money on is a clip-on mic. You can get a lav mic like this that goes right into your computer, $20 on Amazon. And I might have just messed up my audio right there, but it makes you sound a lot better, right? 60, 70 bucks total. You would spend that easily on, as part of your wardrobe. But these are part of the wardrobe that we have for these new times where we're using video calls to actually engage with people that we don't know well all the time. I said, whether it's a prospect or a client. But to be a sales Sherpa, you have to be able to instill credibility and trust in the people you're engaged with. And a lot of what we build our trust and credibility on is not spoken. It's all the information we take in through our ears, through our eyes. And you want to make sure that when you're interacting with people, that they're getting the right message that you want to send. So that's my thoughts for you today. And I realized I just kept the YouTube link on the entire time. So sorry about that. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon. We'll be back all next week. We've got some guests coming up. We've got some great topics about how to build value, how to build trust, how to present options, all kind of great stuff. My time is up, but thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye.